You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV Supernatural After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV Supernatural After Show.
Oh yeah, grooving out here, guys. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. We are doing Supernatural Season 9, Episode 12, entitled Sharp Teeth. Yeah, son of a preacher man.
Hey, Lyndsey, who sings that?
Dusty Springfield sings this, just in case. We were playing the radio game here.
But there was not
studio.
a son of a preacher man in this episode.
Well, it's just a song, Tom.
No, it's got to deal with the episode. Come on.
There was a preacher man.
There was.
Well, he became
and there was
the
a
son.
daughter.
He became a stepson of the preacher.
Yeah, stepson-in-law.
Stepson-in-law of the preacher.
It's all
man.
family.
I know.
Supernatural's a family show, Tom.
I know, it is. It is. We found out that tonight. Welcome, everybody. I am Tom Connolly, and sitting across from me, to his left, Lyndsey Wegner. How you doing, Lyndsey?
Hey, how's it going, Tom? We got our lefts and our rights going on here.
And sitting next to her, Travis McMaster. How you doing, Travis?
I'm doing great.
So, what'd you guys think of tonight's episode? Sharp teeth.
He introduced you first, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Chopped liver.
I'm first best right now. I actually really liked the episode. I liked seeing Sam and Dean together, but the tension really, I think that they did a great job of really portraying that and pushing that, because I felt it, and it felt awkward to the point where I actually want them to go their separate ways. And last week we know how sad I was that they were, crowded. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I actually want them to kind of do their own thing and go off for a little while, I think speaks volumes about how well they both pulled off this not really wanting to help, and Sam being pissed at Dean.
Yeah, reluctantly helping each other on this case.
And wanting to get rid of each other.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I confess I was not jazzed about this episode. I didn't think it was going to be super awesome. I thought I was going to get bored with the Monster of the Week thing. But I really liked the way they wove in, not the overall story, but the characters' journeys in with this Monster of the Week. Yeah. And using Garth as a reason to get these two together and to stay in the same room together. Because I think if it wasn't Garth sitting on that bed, they would have just went their separate ways.
Yeah.
But they stayed for Garth, and then hilarity ensues.
Yes, of course, when the Garth is around.
What did you think, Tom?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I liked the final scene. I thought was really strong for this episode, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, the final scene was my favorite scene of the episode. Yeah, we find that Garth has been killing cows and other animals for their organs and intestines, and he ends up in a hospital and wakes up to find Sam and Dean and thinks he's in heaven.
That's the dream.
I'm sure that's a dream for most people out there watching the show. Yeah.
Handcuffed to a bed with Sam and Dean over you.
I'll take that.
Comment in on that below. And Sam and Dean have a little catch up of what's been going on. What have you been doing for a week and a half? What have you been doing for a week and a half? And Sam tells Dean that Gadriel left a piece of grace in him. He was like, "Do you know how wrong that sounds?" And Dean Sam sees the mark of Cain, not the wrestler. Everyone, just so you know, I kind of yelled for that. If you guys know, I do the wrestling show, so I was like, "Yes, Cain's gonna be on this episode." No, sorry, he's on Monday Night Raw. And Sam seemed really pissed at Dean that he's working with
that's his
Crowley.
Default position right now.
Yeah,
he's just pissed at Dean. I like that they did the little catch up though. Mm-hmm. It's been so long since they haven't been together. It was nice to see everyone have to take a moment to say what happened in the last episode.
Yeah,
and just a good recap.
Yeah, and I like that they weren't just like, "Oh yeah, things have been happening." It was like, "Oh wow, what's on your arm?"
Some details.
Yeah. They got into it of what has been going on.
Well, we can't forget that this takes place in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. I got excited, obviously being from Wisconsin, and I just found a little trivia that it is the largest wildlife area in Wisconsin, which is kind of cool.
Now we know why they're,
Now we know why they're
yeah.
getting all the animals and stuff, which makes sense. And it's actually northeastern Wisconsin, almost like right to the Minnesota border. It looked like probably an hour or two north of Minneapolis, St. Paul area. Because I actually didn't know where Grantsburg, Wisconsin is. I'd never heard of it.
It's okay. You don't have to know where all the cities are.
I feel like I do.
okay.
I feel like I do. I feel like I know most of them. I mean, we have
where they
weird
are.
city names. We've got, I'm from Plymouth, which is by Sheboygan, and Kenosha, and McGuanago.
Those are funny words.
See, all these like random words, like I feel like I should know all of my cities and villages.
You learned a new one today.
I learned a new one
Getting
today.
there.
So, Grantsburg, Wisconsin, you got put on the map by Supernatural.
Yeah. So when you go home, if you go home, you can go visit there and be like, "Oh, Sam and Dean were here, and Garth killed some cows and all these animals here." It'd be cool.
Yeah, he's killing animals for his werewolf pack. Thank you. I was going to say coven because I'm very dumb.
Could be that too. But
No.
yeah. So Garth is now a werewolf. He was hunting a big bad wolf in Maine, got bit, and he found. Actually, his now wife Bess found him by smelling him. And since then, they've been married for
He was ready
4
to kill
months.
himself.
4 months.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
because he watched his favorite movie, Rocky 3,
Yep,
which is a great movie.
He had his
It's
favorite
not
food.
Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Don't fly by Rocky, Tom. I've got opinions on Rocky. The internet needs to hear them.
So they ended up getting married, and now he's a part of their pact. And
Which has natural-born werewolves
Yes.
versus just bitten, which is an interesting piece of lore. That's all.
Yes, and they're called
Lycanthropes.
yes, lycanthropes. That's the
Politically correct term.
for werewolf,
Sure.
which Garth told Dean as Dean came over for dinner, and it didn't go well.
No.
He met Reverend Jim. He met Joy, Bess's stepmom, Gus's
She's a fourth generation.
stepmother-in-law. Yeah,
Those two brothers,
yeah,
Jeb and Hat, I think.
they were shady from the start.
Yeah.
You knew
Scary
they
music.
were
They
up
were
to no
gnawing
good.
on that organ. I think it was a heart or something.
Yeah.
They were just, yeah.
Yeah, so Dean came over for dinner, and it was all intestines on the plates, and
Did
Dean
he
had a
have a-
piece of steak.
Yeah, he had steak on there and
They
potatoes.
were nice enough to make him a nice
Cooking
steak
people
dinner.
food.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were going to. I was waiting to see the plate because I'm like, what if they really feed him and he's supposed
Here's
to
a
eat that?
kidney, just eat it.
Yeah.
He would have eaten it. I really liked how uncomfortable Dean was because, of course, he's uncomfortable because it's all werewolves. But I think if that had just been a normal family, like being happy and loving and religious, he would have had the same expression on the whole time.
Yes. Yeah, they would have been like, "Oh, this is what we do. You sit here and eat dinner together, and
When is your dad going to get up and hit you and tell you you're no good?
and why are we not in a hotel room? They're in a house." And they were all wearing silver bullets around their neck, and they said that's a symbol for them to remember that life is precious and their life can be taken in an instant, which is
I
everyone's.
really liked the religious angle they took without going like full on like, oh yeah, we're just straight up Catholic or Christian or whatever. But did they do that because they were trying to not maybe offend anyone who is religious? And
I mean, they kind of crossed. They didn't really cross any lines of.
right.
I don't think there was any crossing of lines for that.
No,
line.
they were intentionally not, but I just didn't know if that was maybe an intentional choice so as not to offend or rock the boat, or if they were just trying to, oh wait, no, I know why. It's because they all worship Ragnarok and they have a whole different Bible thing. Because of later in the episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just leave.
Okay. Bye. We're gonna finish this, okay, Lyndsey? We'll be. And Dean ends up having to tell Garth that
He's gonna kill
Kevin is dead.
yeah.
Sadly, Kevin, we still miss you. And
They're still talking about it.
Keep
I feel
showing
like
it.
I feel like maybe just invented a new drinking game for Supernatural people out there. I think every time Dean says, "No, Kevin's death is on me," you need to take a drink. 'cause
If
he
you're
says
over
it a lot.
21.
Yes, he says it a lot. Every time someone says, "Oh, but no, that was my fault." No, Kevin's death. Kevin's blood's on my hands, everybody, not anybody else's. But Garth still felt, responsible for Kevin's death because he did leave and he's been gone for months now.
They just left. I thought that was a really good scene. DJ Qualls
Yes.
did, I think, a really great job of acting sad.
Yeah. and I mean he's always been good in this show. I like him, and he's always a very funny character to have around.
I brought this up earlier, and if you know the answer, feel free to leave me a comment and inform me. Has Garth's southern accent always been that thick? I felt like he was laying it on very thick, and he had his cute little country idioms and stuff. Yeah, do I just not remember? Because he was like goofy.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of had it still, but it wasn't. I don't know. I feel like he would always talk like that, like he did tonight. I didn't think it was like more. Yeah, I didn't think he was like laying it on more than he has been.
Help us out, listeners. Help us
out. And then Sam and Dean end up. They talk to Sheriff Pat, or Sam does, to find out more about the family, because they want to know if can they just leave these monsters to be and be this normal family, or do they just have to kill them?
Yeah.
And he said there was no hanky-panky, nothing going on around there. It was just a normal town.
And they contribute to the community, so
they did a really great job of finding valid reasons to keep the two brothers separate, so they can still work together but still keep their distance and kind of work through it on their own. It felt very organic.
Yeah, when Garth escaped and Sam called Dean to get an update, and Dean was like, "Oh nope, cameras didn't see him. Cameras pointed the other way." And Dean has a picture of Garth getting into a car.
Yeah. Sounds like Dean. I saw. Like, we looked at it together. It was pointed at us.
So and Sam just caught him on it, and caught him in the act of lying to him as he just
not hard.
stood there waiting for him to come out of the police officer. Where was he at the DMV probably?
The hospital.
Oh.
Where the security
that's where the security camera was. Okay.
Come on, Tom.
Yes. Sorry.
You sound like me when you make those.
I was thinking he had to go somewhere else to get those pictures, find out whose car it was, because he didn't know exactly whose car it was and the license plate number.
That's true.
So, who'd he call? Who'd Dean call to get that information?
Not Garth.
No.
Not Bobby.
Not Kevin.
Not Kevin. Too soon.
Man.
Sorry.
Kevin's blood's on my hands, everybody.
It's on my
Drink
hands
at home.
I brought it up.
So, Dean ends up. The sheriff calls them out to the woods and says, "Oh, we found this deer mutilated, basically." And as Sam and Dean are inspecting the body, we find out that the sheriff is also a werewolf. And
Fresh blood on the deer.
Warm body. Which is, I understand, I'm not going to say, why did they do it this way, because it's more interesting on a TV show, but if it's the sheriff, he could just say, oh, hey, come out to the woods because I found a thing. And then as soon as they show up, he can just shoot them both with his police gun.
But no, that wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't have been exciting.
Yeah.
That's not good television. I understand.
And then Sam has to... So, Sam, out of nowhere, throws that knife right into his heart.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He got some knife training skills somewhere.
Yeah.
Picked him up along the way.
I feel like he's been very just in tune with, kicking ass lately. Sam has. More Dean did a lot last episode. But
maybe because he's at full power. He's not hurt anymore. He doesn't have any healing left to do because, Cass healed the rest from him, got the grace from Gadriel out of him. So maybe because he's full blown, he's ready to.
Definitely. And I also think it's an indicator that he's moving away from Dean. Normally he lets Dean do that stuff, but Dean has been gone.
Because it took Dean by surprise.
Oh, yeah. It took us all by surprise.
You saw him have it behind his back, but I wasn't expecting. I was expecting
rush him.
Dean to shoot him. That's what I was expecting it to happen. So the sheriff, Sheriff Pat.
And then when Dean leaves,
2 scenes.
He's like, "Okay, Sam, you take care of this. I'm going to leave." And I'm like, "Take care of hiding a sheriff's body? What's he going to do with the car?"
I don't know. Just maybe light it on fire in the woods. I don't know.
Salt it.
Yeah. And they found a bullet on the sheriff that said Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
But they kept
Ragnarok.
pronouncing it Ragnarok.
Oh, right.
Ragnarok.
I've only ever heard it pronounced Ragnarok. So again,
And it was Norse mythology on there.
And so Sam has to clean up the body and is told to go get Garth and put him away, lock him up basically.
Because at this point they now suspect everyone.
Yeah,
except we assume Garth.
Yeah, because Garth has been very open with them.
Helpful.
Got
has
that
not
sweet
been
smile.
Yeah, that southern drawl, it just works. I did like when Garth did introduce them to Beth, and I can't remember what he said about Dean, but he's like, Sam is insecure a lot of the times, but he's
for
good
good
natured.
reason.
Yeah.
Oh, he said Dean could start a fight in an empty room.
Yeah, that's yes. And then Dean goes to the church basically to confront Reverend Jim because he thinks that he's the one behind everything. He's the
And just
leader
to
of the pack.
clarify, when Tom says to confront, he means shoot a reverend in a church.
Yes, exactly. Why not? It's Dean. What else is he gonna do?
He's going to start a fight in an empty room.
He's killed angels. He doesn't mind shooting
yes.
a reverend in a church.
And Dean ends up finding this. I call it like the Wolf Bible
Fine.
of this Ragnarok, and says basically the end of days and them wanting to destroy humanity and them rule the world.
It was a wolf deity,
Yes.
and it's an
Fenris.
action plan for human extinction.
Yeah, the malls of Fenris.
Which, not for nothing, but that could be the whole arc of a season, maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
last season, instead of whatever
Them
they did.
going after wolves.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
I actually liked Dean's comment as he's on the phone with Sam, and he's telling him this, and he's like, freaking Wisconsin. Of course this would happen in Wisconsin. It's like, well, all the serial killers, are from Wisconsin, Jeffrey Dahmer, and I used to get that all the time from friends in Minnesota. They're like, well, you're from Wisconsin, where all the serial killers come from. I'm like, well, I really don't have anything to say to that.
Wow, I
No,
didn't know
yeah.
that.
I didn't know that either.
Watch out, guys.
Yeah, it's not good. And then Sam ends up getting taken out by the brothers when he goes to find Garth and Beth to help them. And they did an awesome shot in the show where Dean walks in. Dean opens the door in the church, but they pan around and they come to Sam in Garth's apartment. And I just thought it was a very cool shot, but it confused me because I thought,
You don't know where they were.
yeah, I was like, how did Sam get into Garth's apartment that's in the church where Dean is? I was like,
Oh, Tom.
yeah,
Sweet, precious Tom.
the trickery of camera work.
Sweet, literal Tom.
But I like that shot. I thought it was an awesome looking shot altogether.
Yeah, Dupes has always been a beautiful show.
Yes. And Dean confronts Jim. He's not the one that's been killing.
Which I love
Yeah.
because he actually talks Dean out of shooting him,
Yes.
which is not something Dean gets talked out.
No, and Dean really believes him. I didn't know if that was going to come back to bite him in the
I didn't either, because
butt, but
later Dean just leaves the church gymless,
Yeah.
and we don't see what happens, and I guess he's just in the church praying or something.
Yeah. And I like that Jim could hear his heart beating. And he said, do you still get nervous after killing all these people?
they're still fearing you.
Yes, yeah.
That's great. I love the humanity they're bringing to Dean, finally.
yes.
Benny did a lot of good for Dean, I think.
Yeah, because he showed them that, monsters can be
beautiful.
yeah, and be
charming.
be good still, as much as they are, killing cows and chickens. But hey, they're not killing humans.
That's something
It's a good
that
thing.
Better than not killing humans.
Exactly.
I brought up, if these guys are like 3rd and 4th generation werewolves, why are they killing neighboring cows? Why don't they have their own farm where they just raise animals to eat? That seems much safer.
Yes, it would be a lot easier for them. But
We wouldn't have a storyline then, though, that there was killing
and what's
animals
fun
going
of
on in
killing your
Wisconsin.
own animals on the farm? That's not good. Like, you got to go
Well, you'd think
find their neighbors. I don't
third or
know.
fourth
What are they going to
generation,
do?
you feel like they'd almost at now at this point. Well, then they could become vegan.
Exactly. See?
You know?
I don't know. I don't know if they can.
I don't know
but
how. What's a werewolf's lifespan?
Well,
Can they not die?
They can die. I mean, Reverend Jim was pretty
I meant, do
old.
they? Yeah, after they get old, do they die?
I think so.
That's something I'd like to know.
We haven't had too many werewolf episodes, and I don't know if they've ever touched on the lifespan. I assume it's just standard lifespan until a hunter kills them.
Yeah. So that's when you die.
Well, see,
when a hunter finds you, you
so
die.
if they've been around for that long, you'd think that they would have found an alternative food source. I mean, obviously, aside from humans, they're eating animals, but then something even alternative to animals.
Or just go to the butcher shop and be like, hey, can I get some of those old... So you
Can I
got a
get the
bucket of
scraps?
organs back
Yeah.
there. Not to be weird, but...
That'd be too obvious. It's
fine.
I know.
It's fine.
I know. Well, the sheriff is kind of running the town too, so they could have had everyone in the town in on
In
this.
on it.
That
we
would've been
don't. We
interesting.
only saw that it was, that their family. We didn't see anybody else in town becoming werewolves.
Yeah, when the sheriff revealed himself, I thought they might go in that direction.
Yeah,
Kind
like
of
the whole
invade
town
the
after
body
them.
snatchers,
But remember,
yeah.
the guy that tried to kill Garth was going after him, so he obviously wasn't a werewolf.
It's true.
Yeah. I don't know. So we ended up finding that Joy is the leader of the cult, the mall, and
Because her papa
Yes,
was
her-
like old Wolf Testament.
Yeah, he was the old
preacher.
leader. Yeah, he was the old
Real fire
reverend.
and moonstone kind of guy.
Yeah, but he got killed by Hunter.
It
And
happens.
then we found that her brother got killed by Hunter, Charlie.
That was her son.
Oh, was their son? Oh.
Yeah, because remember she said she's the last in her line. That's why she kind of resents Bess, because it's her stepdaughter.
Oh, I thought it was her brother.
I thought it was
she
her
said
brother too.
Yeah.
Her bro Charlie.
Yeah, yeah,
Her brother
yeah, her brother,
Charlie.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Yes.
I apologize for
Her
my
brother was
presence.
killed by a hunter.
Yeah.
And her dad was preaching, or Reverend Jim is preaching a coexistence. And then when Charlie was killed, she remembered her dad's sermons that man destroys so that there can be no peace.
Yeah. So they have Bess, Garth, and Sam now, because the brothers have captured him, brought him to this barn that they have.
Of course.
And Joy wants to basically lay the kills of Bess and Garth on Sam and Dean.
And blame them.
So the Reverend Jim will go crazy.
Yeah.
And go back to what her father was doing with Destroy All.
Vengeance and whatnot. Sam says you're gonna frame the murders on me. Is that proper? Because I feel like you'd say you're gonna frame me for their murders, but he says you're gonna frame the murders on me.
I don't know. That's getting too into it.
Sorry.
That writer and
But,
you're just coming out.
Back to werewolves. Back to werewolves.
And then, Joy's brother Charlie was killed by hunters. And
The
she
Reverend
said,
was bitten too. We have to. That's why she doesn't like.
he
Bess.
wasn't a.
He wasn't a generational werewolf. He was bitten, so that's why she doesn't like Bess, and she doesn't care that she kills her.
Sure, he's new money.
Yes. And she said, as long as there's man, there can be no peace because man destroys. And she goes to. Dean ends up killing one of the brothers outside of the barn.
Yep.
As he comes to rescue
Throwing his
Sam.
scent off.
Yes.
By leaving his coat.
Yeah.
That we assume he peed on beforehand.
I don't know. He had to have done something.
That Winchester scent.
Yes. And then as Joy is going to basically kill Bess, and Garth is trying to wolf out, but he can't, and I don't understand why. Can he only do it?
It's not a full moon. Is it a full moon thing on Supernatural?
I don't know.
Can you remember?
I'm sure they can probably do it anytime.
I think it's because he's detained and tied up, so he can't it's almost as if he can't get enough momentum to get it going.
Yeah.
To get to that point, because
And
otherwise, why would Bess have
was he
done
tied up in? It was silver chain.
I think it was just regular chains.
Oh, I didn't know if it was maybe because it was silver chains, it would prevent him from because when she was putting the bullets in the gun, you could see that it was hurting her hands.
Yeah, I think it was regular chains. I think the idea is supposed to be that they can sort of control their werewolfishness, because if they couldn't control it, then you can't really be a safe, passive werewolf.
Yeah.
Sure.
And as she's about to kill Bess, Sam, with his moose legs, as you said, kicks the gun out of her hand.
Because no one on Supernatural understands a gun is a ranged weapon, and you can shoot someone from pretty far away.
And Dean ends up coming in, basically, saving the day for all of them. He kills the second brother, and then shoots Joy right in the heart.
Nice, good shot.
With a silver bullet.
And Bess got to live. We got a nice female character who got to live.
Finally.
I didn't really like her though.
Well, she's alive though.
Yeah, exactly.
She's alive, which I appreciate. But last week, that the girl that was running that shop when they found Crowley,
Tara,
she was cool. She was a cool kick butt character.
Yeah.
I just felt just this girl's kind of.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Tara later on come back and help.
Or the girl from the previous episode that was working on the computer.
Yeah, Crowley's inside girl.
I liked her too. Sorry, guys.
We have to take what we can get though.
Yes.
No.
Bess got to live.
That's one.
Because
one
she
for the good
married
team.
Garth.
Yes. Because if it was anybody else, she
wasn't
probably
gonna
wouldn't
happen.
have lived. And then we get back to Garth's house. Sam goes outside to leave, and Dean looked visibly upset that Sam was kind of walking out. I thought they were going to kind of go there. I thought Sam was leaving for
Me
good.
too.
And I thought that's kind of why he gave that look to him. And
Oh yeah,
Was
this
like-
is an important scene. You guys.
And then
Him and Garth have a tender moment.
They have a tender moment where Dean forgives Garth and allows him to live in his sort of monstrosity. And Garth does the whole bit where he's like, well, what if I just come back and hunt with you guys? Because I feel bad about Kevin, so let me come back. And he's like, no, stay here, live your happy life, which is something he's always wanted for Sam as well.
Or you'll never forgive yourself.
Yeah, and he
Right.
says someone has to live to tell this crazy story.
Is that foreshadowing? That made me think it was maybe foreshadowing.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And then they hug.
And
Yes.
hug.
Well, Dean says, now shut up and get over here. And then he gives him a hug.
Walls coming
and
down.
as Garth is like, really? You're gonna hug me? You're gonna let me hug you? Okay. And we don't see anything of the vampire clan anymore.
Werewolf clan.
Werewolf. Yes, they're just kind of Jim and Beth are just sitting at the table. Jim is still kind of distraught about everything that's happened, and he's upset with himself because he didn't know that this was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully all the bad ones are dead.
I don't know. Maybe we'll come back.
That could
later.
definitely come back.
Yeah.
And like you said, the foreshadowing for someone's got to be able to tell the story. We may have more vampires. Someone's got to be alive, and I feel like this means Garth is okay. Predictions. Sorry.
We'll get to that. So then, the biggest scene of the episode, I thought, Sam and Dean get out of the car as Dean is going to drop Sam off in his, what'd you say? Stolen car?
I don't know, that crazy muscle
Enterprise
car
rent-a-car.
that Sam's acquired somehow.
I don't think you can get that car at Enterprise. I don't know. Maybe, but I'm not sure. Dean just basically says, I messed up. I was in a messed up place when I left, and Sam was like, well, when you split and you left us, like not you
We didn't part ways.
Yeah.
You left me.
And Dean says, he feels like the rules have been changed. Like what's right is wrong, what's wrong is more wrong, and that when they were together, they could split the crappiness of what was happening around them. So they both didn't have to take the burden of everything in this world is really messed up. We're kind of part of the problem, but trying to be part of the solution at the same time.
I love that because historically Dean has always been very, Papa Winchester taught me right and wrong. Everyone else is wrong. Sammy, shut up and do what I say. If I make a mistake, it's not a mistake. You're a mistake. Shut up.
Yes.
And I really love that he would admit that he's wrong, admit that not all monsters are bad because he's working with Crowley. Never mind how much Meg helped them out and he never learned the lesson.
Yeah.
But he's working with Crowley. Cass went evil, Cass got good. He's all turned around and he's finally willing to admit he doesn't have the answers and he doesn't know what to do and he just needs his brother.
And Sam just
Sam's
rejects
not going
him.
to have any of it. No.
Nope.
He's like, we're family. Well, that doesn't mean, what does that mean anymore?
Yeah. Kevin was family.
Exactly.
He's bitter
Obviously,
about
yeah.
Dean. He's mad about what happened, about about him letting Gadriel into him, and he says he can't trust him, which I agree with. I mean, we've come back to saying every episode it's another lie. It's another opportunity for him to tell the truth, but Dean can't tell the truth to Sam, and so obviously over the course of all this, Sam is going to be pissed and not know what he can believe.
That's great, because we've been watching him for 9 seasons, just forgive Dean for everything.
Yeah.
And he finally brought up, we were going to board up hell and you stopped me in the church, and I thought no one was ever going to reference that again.
Yeah. I'm glad they brought that up, and yeah, like Dean stopped him because Dean didn't want to lose his brother.
Sure.
And it's coming down to, he can't live without Sam being in his life or just being with him. And yeah, I mean, I like that they brought that up. I like that he brought up, letting Gadriel inside here and
Huge betrayal.
Messing everything up, and Kevin, and he said, I like the line where he's like, I can't trust you, and I can't trust you the way that I should be able to, like as a brother, to have my back.
I really like when he said something like, we don't see eye to eye anymore. And that's great because Sam is finally realizing Dean is just sort of reckless and damaged and just wants his family around him. And Sam this whole time was thinking, like, I thought we were trying to make the world a better, safer place.
Yeah.
And we tried to close hell and you wouldn't let me, so I don't really know what you're in it for. If you want to work, we'll work.
Yeah.
We'll work as like business partners,
Yeah.
but we can't. Like he never finishes a sentence, but he says, we're not.
Like as brothers, and then he kind of stops.
Yeah.
So brothers, not so much. They're really brothers, but not in the sense of what they've been
Working
all
towards.
this whole show.
Right.
For 9 seasons leading up to this.
So it left it in a very kind of like tense, dark place.
Yeah, and I didn't think Sam was gonna get in the car with him. I thought Sam was gonna get in the other car, but now they're back together.
And that muscle car is just sitting in a dirt lot somewhere.
Okay, let's go find the keys and
1-800-MUSCLE car.
Anybody in Grantsburg, Wisconsin, go find that car.
Go find the car.
But yeah, I like that. I thought this was the most powerful scene of this episode.
Agreed. And I think it's going to play really great into next week's Wacky Jim episode.
Yes, yeah. Next week they go to the Biggest Loser boot camp, where people are losing all their fat in one day and basically dying from it.
Probably not going to turn into adipose.
No.
It's a Doctor Who reference, you guys. Right?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
But yeah, I think next week's gonna be one of those. We had the really heavy episodes. We need a lighter episode to
I'm on it.
make us laugh.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to, before we move on too much, I do just want to say Cass was not in this episode, which is always a bummer, but it's okay because I know the writers always talk about, like, well, if you've got an angel on your side, what's going to come up against that you can't solve. So it's a good choice to leave Cass out because I think this is an episode between the brothers. I do kind of wish there had been at least one line to say, like, oh, Cass can't come because he's got a puzzle at home.
Just referencing him at the
Did you say
very
he has
least.
a puzzle at home?
Yeah, he probably likes puzzles. But no, there's no legitimate reason for him not to be there, so I think it is best just to leave it. Cass isn't here just because Cass is not here.
But I think Cass is still probably has to lay low because I think the other angels are still trying to find him probably too.
Yes.
But that could have been mentioned when Sam was telling Dean that, Cass take care of Gadriel's grace being in me. We took care of it. So he could have said at that point, yeah, Cass isn't here because he's doing a puzzle.
Yeah, or he's just trying to find a way to locate Gadriel while he's.
It's entirely possible. I'll bet it was written and filmed, and they just cut it out because it interrupted the flow of everything else.
Yeah. We know Cass is still good and with them and on their side.
Yeah, he's dreamy.
And Dean did say, I like he's like we just got to get some W's on the board and things will be okay. And Sam was just like, no, that's not going to do anything.
There's no black and white loss anymore.
Yeah.
And I think Sam is definitely becoming more angelic and Dean is definitely becoming more demonic. I think so.
I loved your prediction on YouTube. I told.
Oh yeah, I'll say that. I'll say that here too. But yeah. You did tell me. I did. I thought of it last night after we were done. I was like, why did I not say it on the show last week? But hey, that's what happens. But let's get to some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So I have some news. Are some old characters returning to the show?
No, they're all dead.
A character, remember Adam, Dean and Sam's brother that's
Yes,
been
I remember Adam.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Adam is not one of the familiar faces returning to Supernatural this season. But there's some hope that the third Winchester brother, again, showrunner Jeremy Carver says, as long as he's in the cage, there's always a chance. But he's not coming out tomorrow. But there's always a chance. So maybe he'll eventually break free and,
I think maybe that should be the 10th season is just poor Adam.
Yeah. He's been there for 5 years now? 4 years?
I swear it's just because Papa Winchester took him to baseball games. So they're just like, screw him, leave him.
And then another news, Jared and his wife, Genevieve, they finally revealed the name of their baby. His name is Shepard. It's been a month since he was born, but they finally revealed it on Twitter on Tuesday, January 21st. So congratulations to them.
It's nice they named him after Crowley.
Yes, exactly.
And they've been posting really cute pictures of the first baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
on Twitter.
The older one? Okay.
Jared's been posting pictures.
Gotcha.
It's adorable.
And last thing of news is the ratings are in, and Supernatural going up in the ratings. It says the combo of the originals, the show that's on before Supernatural, and that's on at 8. This is Supernatural's on at 9. Has given the CW the most highest rated networks or highest rated night on Tuesday since 2008.
Wow.
So yeah, Supernatural. This was last week's episode was a 3-year high. I think. Yeah.
Was it the episode with the Believers after Jared posted something on Twitter and got all that?
Yeah. So that one was 2.6 million views. The most watched Tuesday in more than 5 years since October 2008. Supernatural has still not been officially renewed for a 10th season, which would include the show's 200th episode. But with this recent ratings, they think it's a shoo-in that it's gonna be.
Well, that is very, very much due to the fans. So good job to you fans out there. Which also reminds us that if you guys are watching and listening in, make sure to go to iTunes and rate us 5 stars. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, all the good stuff. Anything you want to hear, anything you want to see, rate us 5 stars, and rate all the other AfterBuzz TV shows 5 stars, and let us know what you're thinking. We love to get the feedback, and we like responding to you guys. You guys obviously make Supernatural awesome, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, leave your comments on the YouTube page
and the YouTube page.
Subscribe too.
Subscribe and leave your comments so that we can talk to you guys, because we all have fun doing that.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun reading the comments the next day and seeing what happens, seeing what you guys at home think of the show, and let us know if we're doing a good job too. So let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Do you want me to go first? Because I'm going to say what I said last week.
Well, I'll go first because mine's really weak.
Okay.
So it'll be building.
We'll end strong then.
Yeah, I think Sam and Dean are going to continue to be kind of estranged and at odds. And as they get closer and closer to their common goal of taking Abaddon and Gadriel down, they'll get closer and closer. And I think we'll get more of Sam finally taking the lead and Dean looking to Sam for cues, and maybe even Sam driving the car again.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's it. I told you it was weak. I'm sorry. That's all I've got.
No, that was good. I like
thanks.
that.
Well, I am looking forward to next week's more comedic and lighthearted episode. And fingers crossed for a shirtless Sam or Dean, please. Come on, somebody. Give me a shirtless Sam or Dean doing some yoga. That would be great.
We know there's some short shorts in it.
We see some short shorts. We see a hairnet. But I'm really, really hoping for a shirtless yoga scene. So hopefully you guys can somehow edit that in for me. That would really be great. And I'm pretty sure all the other viewers, male and female, would all appreciate that a lot.
I'd appreciate it.
See,
Yes.
Travis would like it.
We'd all appreciate it. And I'm going to I agree with what you're going to say. So
Okay.
You go ahead.
Now I have to really
you end
remember.
strong.
I think that the way this seems to be going, and with the last week with Cain telling Dean that story of how he killed his brother to send him to heaven so that he would become basically part of why can't I think of his name? Satan's like army and become the Knight of Hell. I think that's where we're leading to in this, in at least in the show. I think it probably won't happen till that's like the end of the show, because I don't understand where they, if it happens at the end of this season, where are they going to go next season with it?
To get Adam.
No, well, I don't, because Sam's going to be in heaven. So I think Dean kills Sam, sends him to heaven so that he can have his peaceful, happy life, and Dean becomes, a Knight of Hell.
Last Knight of Hell?
Yes.
Which that's the spinoff then.
No,
That's
Dean is
you
the
don't
Knight of
think,
Hell?
I don't know. I mean, they say they're going to bring a character from this show, but they're going to leave some of the main characters out. Remember last week I said they're going to they're going to bring them in a couple episodes later.
Yeah, episode
so maybe
20.
Adam is coming back. Oh, what if it's someone? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited right now. What if one's in hell and one's in heaven? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah, I would.
Do
I've watched
craziness.
this, so why wouldn't I watch that? It's awesome. So
Party here.
Where can they find you guys, Travis?
As always, you can find my work at rolling-high.com. That's a web series I work on with some buddies of mine.
Awesome. Lyndsey?
And you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner. And on my blog, lyndseywegner.blogspot.com, and earlier on Tuesdays for Shahs of Sunset.
Awesome.
Tom?
They can find me on Twitter at TomTheCom. You can find me here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock for WWE Main Event and 11 o'clock for the Tomorrow People. So we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.